Welcome to the Dave Palma Show, the podcast that revives, restores, and awakens your innermost capabilities.
You have the training and the talent to succeed, but do you have the guts to fail?
I love what I do. When you love what you do, you want to be the best at it.
Today is about the power of you. You will change the world.
Find your path to success through the journey of those who have succeeded. And now, your host, Dave Palma.
Hi, welcome back to the Dave Palma Show. And with me in this episode, I have someone who has helped thousands of people reclaim their health through his books, seminars, and programs. Kevin Reese, or Dr. Kevin Reese, PhD, should I say. Welcome to the Dave Palma Show.
Thank you for your time today.
Oh, it's absolutely great pleasure. I'm always willing to give my time to any kind of new or alternative. I don't know if I should call it alternative medicine, should I? It's certainly a lot of people calling it controversial.
Well, yeah, I don't like to use the word medicine at all.
No, right, okay. So
I just say I'm a healer.
Healer, yeah, that's right. So that's what we've got you down as here as the as a healer, actually. And you had something called peace, or I can't remember what it's called now. Hang on, let's have a look for it.
Well, my main book is called Peace Over Pain.
That's it, Peace Over Pain. Yes, can you tell us a little bit about that first?
Well, it's just an explainer of my new method of helping people, which is called Head to Toe Healing, and it's a pretty short read, quick read.
All right, okay.
And I'm happy that it's helping people all over the world.
Yeah, I mean, when you say peace over pain, I mean, most people would obviously straight away want that, obviously. If people are going to be in a lot of pain when they're sick or injured or whatever, in hospital with something, not even in hospital. I mean, it could be pain, it could be mental pain, it could be a lot of things. So what is it that you're talking about peace over pain in the book that
Well, peace over pain is just a phrase I came up with to further explain to people so that they understand that there is mental pain that can happen on top of physical pain. But if you have peace within yourself, you will not have that mental pain, even if your body's a disaster.
Yeah. Yeah, well, as I say, you've been a controversial figure, I no doubt about that, and you've had bodyguards, I think, or something like that, or needed protection. See, it's gone even as far as that. Tell us a little bit about that, actually.
Well, there's a lot of people that don't like me, and they don't want me doing what I'm doing. I have the most healing results ever recorded on video, and that is apparently too much proof for some people.
Yeah.
And I'm lifting the curtain on the medical system, the American medical system, and people don't like that either. And then you throw on the next layer, which is I have a PhD and not an MD.
Yeah.
Now that turns me into a quack or a charlatan, or my favorite, which is fake doctor.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, you've rightly earned a PhD and you get called a doctor with that. Actually, there's a lot of MDs that actually go on to get PhDs and then become professors. So, so you are actually ahead of them. I actually have, she is in the medical profession. She's a biomedical scientist. So I don't know if that will be, I don't know much about what she does. I don't talk to her too much. She just says she takes swabs for viruses. We could talk about that in the pandemic maybe, but because there are a lot of people that didn't want to touch the vaccine for a start, wasn't there? So, however, she's got a PhD in it now, so she's a doctor and probably knows more in her field than doctors will go and look to her for.
Well, it's interesting, Dave, because doctor used to mean teacher.
Right. Okay.
And if you look it up in Latin, it means to teach.
Ah.
And it's very ironic because these big medical terms like diagnose, they're all Latin.
Yeah.
So it's one big oxymoron that they're using the Latin lingo, but they're not actually living true to what the term doctor really means. because when you go to your primary care physician, when you walk in the door and you coat, they're not teaching you anything.
No, they're
In
not. No.
fact, they're more authoritative. They're more of a police officer than they
Yeah.
are a doctor.
Yeah,
They're
that's
saying, you
right.
got to take this drug. You got to do this
Yeah.
because they've been trained to increase revenue streams for their big bosses, who I call the medical monopoly.
Yeah. Well, that brings me on to what I was talking about with the pandemic, actually. There was this big argument. It was a pharmaceutical war as well as a race to get this vaccine done. But then there was a lot of people saying, "Oh, I'm not going to take the vaccine. It doesn't take that long to get a vaccine done. It can be dangerous and blah, blah, blah," you know. What would
Right.
you, I mean, you're the ideal person to come in. I mean, I don't want to obviously get this deleted off YouTube or anything like that. 'Cause I had a doctor that came on that actually was against vaccines and stuff like that and said, no, no, you know, he was controversial as well. An actual
Yeah.
MD, he's retired MD, and said, no, you don't take the vaccine, blah blah blah, and you know. But anyway,
Well,
what's your take?
all I would say is the jab, as we call it.
Yeah, jab, yeah.
You know, the COVID is a variation of the flu.
Hmm.
So it's not like smallpox or, you know, something extravagant that we've had in the past
Yeah.
in history.
Well, monkeypox is the latest thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
There was an outbreak of that recently, wasn't there?
Yeah. I mean, if people saw bubbles on other people's faces, they would go get the jab, probably. But COVID was the flu. It was a cold, essentially.
Well, they did compare it with the era of the Spanish flu, didn't they?
The Spanish flu, right?
Yeah.
But because we've had the Spanish flu for 100 years, pretty much,
Yeah.
you know, we're pretty immune to it. If you look at the people that unfortunately passed away, they were already unhealthy.
Yeah.
And so it's really an immunity issue.
It's an immunity issue, yeah.
It's an
But the thing,
immunity issue. It's people not taking care of themselves, and then something comes through, and it's gonna, you know, it can have a very great impact on you.
yeah. Well, I mean, I did hear stories of some running. I used to do running as well, track, as well as being a firefighter. We can talk about that as well. But they said, "Oh, I got this COVID and I can't breathe properly," and blah blah blah. But they stayed alive. Another one got a good dose of it and died, you know, in a similar circumstance, possibly because they weren't as healthy.
Right.
The immune system can be a complex kind of, you know, it's like a computer system. You know, it can be very complex, and if there's corruption there, it's like, oh my god, you know, how do I get that fixed? Like a software issue or something.
Yeah. Yeah. The immunity is going to come from the gut. It's going to come from the bone marrow. It's going to come from the brain. It's going to come from the lymphatic system. This is the immunity system. And if you're compromised, then, you know, even the regular flu can knock you down.
Yeah. So, I mean, this was just a variation of a kind of flu that people weren't ready for it. Some people weren't ready for it because they weren't looking after themselves properly. I mean, older people, immune system will go lower because of the gland. I forget it's called now, thymulus gland or something like that. I can't remember what it's called now. There's a
Thalamus.
gland.
Thalamus.
That's the one.
Yeah.
And of course, after about the age of 75, it kind of like decreases its effects on the body and looking after the immune system or regulating it or something. So that's why there was this thing about protecting older people with it, wasn't there? So
Yeah.
some older people, like your friend, well, not your friend, but whether he's a friend or foe, Donald Trump and Biden, are still kind of like, you know, live and kicking, aren't they, really? You know, and took the virus and well, actually, Donald Trump didn't want to take it, actually, I don't think. But what I'm trying to say is that too is kind of like saying, well, even if you're older, if you look after yourself, you're fine.
Right. Yeah. There's a lot of older people that got COVID and they're fine.
Yeah. Well, let's not go down that road too much, because then we'll be digressing of what you're doing. You've got a lot of you're actually a healer and you actually teach people. So you have a lot of this stuff recorded on Video. How do you have most healings?
Well,
Healings ever recorded on video?
well, back in the day, I used to just, as soon as a client had a result, I would say, "Hey, would you mind getting in front of the camera and talking about it?" That's how it started. And then later on, in the last few years, what we do is we hold Zoom meetings.
Right.
And then so people are going around the room sharing. We're capturing everything through Zoom. And so this system has just captured all the amazing miracles, if you will, that we're producing. And a lot of people have 4 or 5 testimonies because they came in with so many symptoms. So we could have one person with 4 videos. And so the first video, their hip pain is gone. The second video, their migraines are gone. The third video, their feet pain is gone. And in the fourth video, their hair is growing back or whatever it is. And so it's just happening naturally on the Zoom meetings.
Yeah. Wow. Well, that's quite interesting. Let's see if I can do something about my hair, actually.
We can.
We can.
We can. And that gray. And that gray.
And the grey as well. Right.
Gray is a soft tissue deficiency. Yeah.
It's a soft tissue deficiency. That's quite interesting. I mean, I'll be 60 next month. Next month I'll be 60. I don't look at people say, even though you can have grey hair when you're really young, actually. So, and you can recede hair when you're really young. Mine did start receding when I was actually half my age now, actually. So
yeah, I had grey hair at 22 years old.
Yeah, I've seen some people younger than that have it. So that's quite an interesting thing. But it says here that your average client is 60-year-old women, not men. So, I mean, why? Well,
men don't like me. There's a lot of angry husbands out there, Dave. Let me tell
you. Sorry, right. Well, I had to put that one straight. But I was going to... Yeah,
it's interesting. We didn't know who our demographic was going to be.
Yeah, no, cool.
And, we just went out there and we're doing our thing. And one day we're looking at the clients. And I was just like, 58-year-old woman, 60-year-old woman, 62-year-old woman, 59-year-old woman, 61-year-old woman, 64-year-old woman. And it's just like, it's all in that vicinity of 60 years old. And it was a big epiphany. Like, wow, this is very interesting. And then you have to ask the question, why? Why 60-year-old women? And then, my assumption is that, first of all, women are more open to change than men. Men are very stubborn. They're willing to go down with the ship. Women are not. Women are not.
Yeah.
And also, a lot of women give their all to their families, to their children, to their jobs for so many years, and they don't put themselves first. And then they wake up in their late 50s, or actually I should say in their early 50s, they go through menopause, they go to the medical system, and they realize that the medical system is basically a scam.
Yeah.
And then they have this realization, they run across me on social media, and they have the available funds because they're later in life, and they make the commitment, they come in and they get better, and then they become a fan.
Yeah.
If you came to one of my seminars and you saw me signing books and people in line, it would be almost all 60-year-old women.
Yeah.
Sometimes 70-year-old women.
Yeah.
Well, there's no 22-year-olds knocking on my door.
Well, that's interesting, actually. Yeah, I mean, you still want to live long, don't you? Even if you're in your 20s or 30s, you want to stay healthy, don't you, really?
They don't care.
Yeah,
they don't care.
It's interesting, isn't it?
The only thing that someone in their 20s cares about is probably fitness.
Fitness, yeah, which is they're two different things, aren't they?
Yeah, fitness is definitely not health at all.
No. Well, I mean, that can contribute towards health, though, can't it? I mean,
it can also make it worse.
It could make it worse. Yeah, yeah, it could make it
Yeah,
worse.
like if your neck is falling out onto your chest and you have a cervical flexion and you don't know that, and
Yeah,
then you're at the gym and you're doing this, you're just making the muscles stronger
yeah,
that are
yeah.
in the wrong position.
Well, that's the thing. You need. Well, that's why they have personal trainers and people making sure you got the right technique. But that costs a lot of money, wouldn't it? Really. So.
Well, the personal trainers don't know either. They don't know the musculoskeletal system. They
Yeah.
don't know what a cervical flexion is, or a posterior pelvic tilt, or an anterior pelvic tilt, or a thoracic flexion. They don't know this stuff.
So the gym business is really in trouble then, really, with what you're saying. It thrives on personal trainers and machines with people either working out by themselves or
The
doing it with.
the fitness industry will be fine because it's based on how you look.
Yeah, it's based on
And
how you look. Yeah.
if human beings love one thing, it's looking good.
Yeah, yeah. And you do get some 60 or 70-year-olds in the gym as well, or doing some classes,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but without digressing again, okay, obviously, I just sort of mentioned matter of factly that I'm going to be 60 next month, and then I just wanted to know why is it only 60-year-old women and not 60-year-old men? And here I am talking to you. I probably would like to.
You're a stubborn man, Dave. You're a stubborn man.
Yeah. Probably. Well, look, there's this thing called plant-based diet. Now, for me, being someone who's been around diets and an ex-sports person, and obviously being fitness was something that was synonymous to being a firefighter. We had to stay in shape to be able to keep up with, the demands of the job. And so sometimes we're looking at what we're eating, sometimes not really. But I was obviously being an athlete. You do a track athlete, and then you look at performance enhancing stuff. Then there was first of all vegetarians, then it became vegan, then it became plant based. But there is this thing now where I've been giving your bio and information, which suggests that plants don't have good nutrition anymore. Why is that?
Well, it's because of the soil.
The soil.
The soil that the plants are growing in are very depleted. And, this has basically been happening since we developed electricity.
Mm.
You see, electricity is happening because we're damming rivers.
Yeah, yeah.
All the good stuff is in the ocean. The rivers brings the good stuff from the ocean onto the land. But now
Yeah.
we're blocking that. So now we have a land without enough minerals.
Yeah.
Okay. And then on top of that, there's so many people and there's corporate farming. So, you have these machines and they're tilling the ground over and over and over again. So when you take something that's supposedly wholesome, like say broccoli, you don't know what's in the broccoli.
Yeah.
You don't know the nutrients that are in the broccoli because they're not tested.
Even organic food.
All organic means is it's not sprayed.
Oh yeah. Okay. So it's still from the soil, like what you're saying.
Still from the soil, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, what you would suggest is eat fish and seaweed, or seafood and seaweed. I should say.
Fish and seaweed's not bad, but I would recommend beef. Because because cows have 4 stomachs.
Yeah.
And they're eating the grass, and the grass is going through a special process through those 4 stomachs.
Right.
And it creates big time nutrition. I would even say that beef is probably the healthiest food a human can eat. You can make a case for eggs too.
Yeah, eggs. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, there was actually bad press around eggs and cholesterol, but then they turned it around, and it's actually one of the best. And even the egg yolk, they really, really, really sort of criticize it. But now all of a sudden, it's actually the best part of the egg. But just be careful because X, Y, and Z. Well, there's a whole load of worse foods out there. It's processed foods, and then foods with a hell of a lot of sugar in. That's the issue, isn't it? Messing up your insulin system and the liver processing, the processed food.
If you look at history, it's pretty clear that we got very, very unhealthy after the Industrial Revolution. It's when all this packaged foods started coming out, right? So it really is a carbohydrate slash chemical issue.
Yeah.
Back when you were living on a farm, your ancestors were living on a farm, and you were eating meat and dairy and rice and beans. You're eating whole real
Food.
foods.
Yeah.
But then when you started having the packages, and you're ripping open the packages, and you can actually read the back of it and say, oh, what's this? Like sugary cereals and such.
Yeah, what's emulsifier and ascorbic acid mixed with such and such chemical? It's all additives to put in there to keep it all together, isn't it? Really, rather than getting it fresh from the ground. And probably the soil was a lot healthier before the Industrial Revolution as well.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
So, I mean, you even had free manure, didn't you? I mean,
Yeah.
saying it in a bad way. Even if you had your own pets, it's like, well, we don't really, your own chickens, it's like,
and not only that, Dave, but before there was electricity, we burned wood a lot.
Oh yeah, cool.
And so there's a lot of minerals in wood.
Ah, okay.
And so you take the ash of the wood, and it becomes a supplement.
Oh, right.
So people could put that in their salt shaker. They could put it on their garden. Minerals.
Okay. I would have
Without minerals, you have no vitamins, no amino acids. Minerals are the base of all nutrition.
Minerals is important. Yeah. Well, hence why some people should drink mineral water as opposed to tap water. But anyway, that'll be another argument, really. Yeah. So what you're suggesting is that people should go back to feudalism rather than the Industrial Revolution or the effects of it we have now, because we're not really in the Industrial Revolution too much now. It's more the information age,
I would say that the Amish are good examples. Of course, we're not going to expect everyone to, get off electricity and go full bore Amish, but they are a great example of people who are voluntarily keeping it old school.
Right. I mean, what about solar panels and things like that? Doing it yourself, kind of thing. I mean, it's going back to almost like you're going to just do everything yourself, grow your own vegetables. I mean, it's not much you can do about soil these days. I mean, from what you're saying, but
you could remineralize the soil, though. You'd have to buy supplements.
Yeah.
And then supplement the soil.
Yeah.
Which is what farmers do.
Yeah.
If you have a small farm and you have chickens and cows and whatnot, you're gonna mineralize that soil.
Yeah.
Because if you don't treat your animals correctly, you don't have a business anymore.
Well, is that why they say grass-fed beef is better than the kind of factory-fed beef?
Yes.
Cows, so that kind of thing you're talking about, isn't it, really? So.
Yeah, because if you're giving cows corn and grains and whatnot, that's not what they would normally eat.
Yeah. All right, absolutely right. That's quite interesting stuff, and it all makes sense now, really. But we really need to find out more about your healing stuff. Let's go more into the mind. We've talking a lot about fitness, body, and eating now, because the mind, healthy body, healthy mind is a good saying, and my show is really about a mindset thing as well. So, what does the mind have to do with healing a body?
Well, there's a computer in your skull. And in that computer, there's a data system, and that's called the subconscious mind. And that's where all your programming is. So, for example, if you use a catchphrase all the time, that's in your subconscious mind. If you bite your nails all the time, that's your subconscious mind. If you have a limiting belief system, that's in the subconscious mind. And what happens is your computer is connected to two cameras. Those are your eyes. And a motherboard, or a switchboard, which is your spine. So everything that happens in your mind goes out through your body through the spine.
Yeah. All right. I see. Yeah. And then your whole arms and legs and everything are just kind of accessories like that, like printers and whatnot. And
that's a great way to put it.
Yeah. In the hardware, you could say, but a bit more like in the age of AI, they're now like drones, things like that have been managed by AI even, and selfless, driverless cars, so it's kind of like that, the AI system is actually in the brain, but you're controlling your arms like the driverless car, that kind of thing, really. So
Well,
it's
if you
quite
have
interesting.
if you have negative thoughts and you have emotions that are very strong, then you can actually hurt your body and you can slow down healing because your body wants to heal. But it's you that gets in the way of your body healing, whether it's through what you eat or how you take care of your posture, or it's how you think and feel. And so
Yeah.
we're very vibrational beings.
Yeah.
So if you have a very negative person, it's going to be hard for them to heal.
Yeah.
And sometimes we see this where somebody does everything right with the diet and everything right with their postural therapy, but they're stuck in their head. And
Yeah.
perhaps they have victim oriented thinking, or they're very angry people, or they're very scared people, and they're just not able to heal like they should.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's get more into the actual medical system itself. We've got a few questions here that's been posed, and it's very quite interesting one, really. So, people with chronic health conditions, I've got a couple myself. Why can't the medical system help people with chronic conditions?
The medical monopoly is not trained to heal you. They're trained to treat your symptoms and manage your pain and stabilize you. You see, they are specialists in stabilization.
All right.
That means they send you home.
Yeah.
But once you get home, you got to figure it out on your own.
You have certainly got to do that. That's right. Yeah.
So it's all about stabilizing the person and getting them out of their office.
Yeah, basically.
And that's why, you got 10, 15-minute meetings and you're in a slaughterhouse. You're just going around in this carousel of frustration, and your primary care physician is a gatekeeper.
Yeah.
So they're just going to distribute you out to specialists who are even worse.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they do know say a lot about reading bloods and what's going on with the blood more than the average person that don't know nothing about that. If they looked at, what's this thing I've read from the blood test and things like that.
Right, but all they do is diagnose. They have no solution.
The diagnostic care situation.
So what's the point?
Yeah, you've got a good point there, actually.
So okay, you're a retired firefighter, so it's a great example. If somebody calls you and says, there's a fire on Main Street, 405 Main Street, you go there and your job is to put out the fire. So that is the solution. You're getting to the solution first, and then after that, somebody who's probably going to want to figure out why it started. That's the root cause.
That's the root cause, yeah.
The medical system doesn't go after the root cause at all. They don't care how the fire started.
No, but that is the same as with the firefighters. Actually, the number one thing we're trained to do is to preserve life or to save lives. So it's actually the property comes second, but so it might be that you have to actually get that person out before even putting water on the fire.
So here's where I would say it's different, though. The medical system is split into two categories. There's acute and there's chronic.
That's right. Yeah.
So when you're showing up to a fire, it's acute.
It's acute.
Right?
Yeah,
it's emergency. It's let's go to work immediately.
Yeah. Well, we work with paramedics, say, and even emergency doctors. It's actually all I ever see when I'm around them. When I was around them, it's emergency medicine.
Right.
Exactly. And what we do is stabilize it for them to put the medicine in the person, and then we get them out or whatever.
What we need to do with the medical system is take the medicine out of the chronic care. The medicine is supposed to be for the emergency care, not the chronic care.
Right.
There is no medicine that can help a migraine. There's no medicine that can help a gut condition because these are malfunctions of the body that happened over time. It's literally not possible. Literally. They can give you medicine, but it's only going to stabilize you. It's only going to mask the symptoms, and it's only going to make billions and billions of dollars because people are not awake to this truth, and they go around and around and around, and it's quite a tragedy.
So what do people do then? All right, we go home. We now you've told these people, look, this is the system. This is what's going on. Why do people believe in this medical system, and what can they do then?
They have to take care of themselves. And so my company, as example, we have a membership. We let people in for an extremely reasonable price, and we teach them to take care of themselves.
Right.
Read your own blood labs. You don't need a white coat to read your blood labs. You don't.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's what I said earlier. I said doctors know how to read the blood thing. If I knew how to read a blood thing, I'd be thinking, what the hell am I waiting for a consultant to tell me every 3 months? Blah blah blah.
It's like you don't need a firefighter to put a smoke alarm on your ceiling.
You don't really, but we do go in and do it. But I can tell you that you're right. You can go in a shop and put the damn thing on yourself. It's only the electrical ones. I wouldn't mess around with electrical if you don't know what you're doing, and but you don't need to get the electrical ones. You just need the ones with batteries and just put it. Even with self-sticky, whatever, the double-sided, just bang it on your wall as long as it gets you out when there's smoke.
Yeah.
You don't need a firefighter to even, tell you that. You should learn that yourself, But yeah, I see your point, what you're saying. But in this country, we do that. We actually offer that service to put a smoke detector in, because there's some people that haven't got it, and you're still saving lives because of the people that just don't know. And it's the same with you. You're doing the same thing. People just don't get it, and then your business is doing that, isn't it? It's saving lives through that, teaching people about how to do it themselves. Is that correct?
Yeah. We call it head to toe healing. And it's a new phenomenon I've created, and that's essentially getting the musculoskeletal system in alignment, putting the right nutrition in, and making sure that the mind, aka the computer, is working properly. When those 3 things are in alignment, your body will heal.
Yeah. You know what? This all makes sense now. I can see now why people are chasing after you and saying, "Yeah, stop this guy." It makes sense. That's why. And actually, why should only 60-year-old women? It should be everyone coming to you to understand all this, really. So.
Well, like I said, you're a stubborn man, Dave.
All right. Okay. Well, I better start dialing up your number now, or looking at your website. And then on that note, can you tell everyone how to reach you, and find out about your books as well if they can't really afford your subscription, if, say, for example?
Call drreese.com. Call drreese.com. Yeah.
Okay, right. Well, that's quite simple for people to do. They can get right on the website and do that. And I think I might have a quick look.
My books are on Amazon and whatnot, and of course there's the Instagram and the TikTok and the Facebook and all that. You find me anywhere. Just make sure there's a blue check, because there's a lot of scammers out there using my name and image trying to get people. So this is apparently what happens when you become a little famous.
Yeah, this is a problem. Yeah, you have been in a lot of TV shows, Fox and ABC. I don't know. You've been in a lot of mainstream shows as well. So.
I did a lot of mainstream before I started this new campaign. Yeah, now they won't touch me.
Oh, really? Oh,
I got to talk to the underground people like you.
Underground.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of cover both, really. So that I'm your bridge. I'm your bridge to get to the mainstream as well.
All right, cool.
Excellent.
I don't think they would like me very much.
Oh, actually, why does the banks don't like you? Why do they don't like you? Before we go, because we've got a couple of minutes left.
The bank, well, we don't know, because a bank is so big and powerful that they can just shut you down without an excuse. They just say you violated our policy.
Yeah, that's the problem.
And so that's what happened to me. I woke up one day, I got a letter in the mail that said, "Get your money out in 7 days."
Yeah. Well,
and so that was.
That's why some people go to crypto and blockchain, but that's another story. But I don't know if that's
I don't know. I don't know anything about crypto.
Oh, well, that's the whole reason why, because they don't like banks, because that's the whole reason. But they can be criminals themselves, they're just as bad. But anyway, I don't want to go down that route. That's for another guest to come and talk about that. More medical. But on that note, we're going to have to wrap up the show now. And it's a really great pleasure speaking to you. It does make sense to me anyway, because I've looked at all this stuff with what you're doing. I was thinking, why is it controversial? None of it sounds controversial after speaking to you now. So I think anyone that's think it is, just check out Dr. Kevin Reese website, and
just call drreese.com.
Exactly. Well, Dr. Kevin Reese, it's been a great pleasure speaking to you, and thanks for talking to my audience today about what you do.
Thank you, Dave, and thank you for your service as a firefighter.
That's a pleasure.
That's all for this episode. Thanks for listening, and remember, if you want to support what we do, then share, subscribe, and leave a review over on Apple Podcasts. Or head over to my website, davepalmer.com, and click on Rate Show. Well, that's all for now, but I'll see you in the next episode of The Dave Palmer Show.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.